a frequency table, you start with a set of data. In this case, our set of data is a survey of what color of eyes everyone had, okay? So BL stands for blue, BR stands for brown, G stands for green, and H stands for hazel. So there was a survey done. Everyone was asked what color of eyes that they had, and these are the answers that they gave. So this is our set of data up here. Okay, now we're going to take this set of data and we're going to organize it. And one way to organize it is what's called a frequency table. And below we have started a frequency table. Okay, in a frequency table you always have 3 columns. Your first column are your categories. Okay, what are we talking about? The color of eyes, right? And I have each one of our categories listed: blue, green, hazel, and brown. Our middle column is tally marks, and you'll know what those are as soon as I start doing those. Everyone knows what a tally mark is, okay? That just helps us keep count of how many there are. And then in our third column, it's always the frequency. We add up how many tallies there are and write that as a standard number, okay? So we're going to tally up how many blues were there. Well, in this first column there was 1, so I'll put 1 tally mark. In the second column there were none. In the third column there was 1, so I'll put another tally mark. In the fourth column none, and then in the fifth column there was 1. So there are 3 tally marks because I tallied up 3 blues, so the frequency was 3. Now I'll tally up my greens. In the first column I had 1, second column none, third column none, fourth column 1, and then the fifth column none. So my frequency of green eyes was 2. Now I'll do the same thing for hazel. The first column has none. The second column has 2, so I put 2 tally marks. The third column has none. The fourth column has 1, so I will put 1 tally mark, and then the fifth column doesn't have any hazel, so the frequency was 3. And now I'll tally up how many had brown eyes. Well, in the first column there was 1, second column there was 1, third column there were 2, so 2 tally marks. The third column there were 3, so I'll put my fifth tally mark there, and then there were 2 in the fifth column, so I put 2 tally marks there. So altogether there were 7 brown eyes, so I put a frequency of 7. That is how you do a frequency table. You tally up how often something occurs in a set of data. So let's look at another one. Here, I took a survey and asked the number of pets that people had. And here are my results. Okay, so in my first column, I have what we're talking about, the number of pets. The smallest number in our set of data was 0. The largest number was 5, so I numbered it from 0 down to 5. Okay, now my middle column is my tallies, so I'm going to tally up how often each one of those occurs in my set of data. And then my last column, my third column, is my frequency column. I'm going to total up my tallies and write how frequently they occurred. Okay, so let's get started and start tallying. So 0 pets. Well, let's see, there's 1 0 in this first column here. There's 1 0 in the second column, none in the third column. In the fourth column I have 1. Fifth column, no zeros. Sixth column, no zeros. Seventh column, I have 2 zeros. So altogether there were 5 tally marks, so it had a frequency of 5. It occurred 5 times in my set of data. Okay, now we'll look at the pets, or the 1 pet, excuse me. So 1, there's no 1s in the first column, 2 in the second column, 1 in the third column, none in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, none in the sixth or seventh. So altogether it had a frequency of 4. Now we'll look at the number that had 2 pets. There was 1, 2 in the first column, none in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and none in the seventh. So altogether it had a frequency of 6. Now we'll look for 3s. We have 1 3 in the first column, none in the second, none in the third, 1 in the fourth, none in the fifth, sixth, or seventh. So it just had a frequency of 2. Now we'll look for the 4. No 4 here, no 4 here, no 4 here, no 4 here. Oh, there's a 4. None here, and then another one there, so it also had a frequency of 2. Then we'll look for our 5. No 5 here, no 5 here, 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 here. Oh, here's 2 5s here. So it had a frequency of 2. So now, which number was our mode? Which one occurred the most often? Well, the highest frequency was 6, so 2 pets occurred the most often.